although there's competitors now ramping up. And as you're familiar with BYD, which is also on the West Coast, I think they're ramping up production of their electric vehicles. Warren Buffett owns 10% stake in that. Why do you laugh? BYD is trying to compete. Why do you laugh?
Have you seen their car?
I have seen their cars, yes. In fact, at the Berkshire Hathaway meeting, I saw their cars.
Yeah.
Well, they're on a different, tell me why you're laughing. You don't see them at all as a competitor?
No.
ZeP101, Beijing masterstroke, the smartphone on wheels. Germany once ruled the automobile like an empire, but in Munich, the empire met its conqueror. China didn't arrive as a challenger, it arrived as a new master. And as German engineers whispered denial, the future was already being written in Mandarin. Act 1, Munich, the humiliation. September 2023, the Munich International Motor Show. For decades, the cathedral of German technological supremacy. Mercedes-Benz, BMW or Bayerische Motorenwerke, Audi, and Porsche. The four horsemen of German engineering paraded their creations as the world took notes and applauded. But this year, something broke. Chinese stands were not just larger, they were brighter, bolder, more futuristic. BYD, NIO, XPeng, and Geely. Names that sounded like cheap imitations 3 years earlier now occupied the most prestigious spaces in the hall. And they didn't come to ask permission. They came to demonstrate who commanded the future. German journalists searched for words. They landed on 3: invasion, humiliation, and shock. 41% more Chinese exhibitors than the previous edition. And for the first time, the headlines were not about Mercedes. They were about China. Media coverage did not show the new S-Class. It showed BYD's rotating screen and AI assistant. German executives walked the aisles with a look suspended between disbelief and panic. Because what they saw wasn't just technology. It was speed. It was an ecosystem. It was a future where Germany was no longer invited. Then came the number Germany feared. Volkswagen lost its crown in China for the first time in decades. Who dethroned them? It's BYD, a company that 20 years earlier made a phone batteries. This wasn't a defeat. It was a declaration. The region was over. Act 2. How Germany lost the future. Here lies the problems that Germany never understood. The car stopped being a car. Germany kept perfecting engines, suspensions, and chassis. But China redefined the entire product. A car became a smartphone on wheels, a mobile office, a digital extension of your life. Germany arrived late, slow, and confused. Imagine Apple launching the iPhone in 2007 and Nokia responding 10 years later with a better antenna. That is Germany today. German infotainment systems, prehistoric. Screens that lag, updates that require the dealership. Meanwhile, a BYD gives you a facial recognition, AI assistance, full digital ecosystem, over-the-air updates. Germany builds touchscreens that sometimes work. Then came the software disaster. Volkswagen created Carrier, meant to be salvation. Instead, it became a historic failure. Porsche had finished cars sitting in warehouses because the software didn't work. China developed operating systems in half the time without chaos. Germany built software like an engine, but software is not an engine. China built the Silicon Valley, then executed faster. Then came the knockout. The batteries. China dominates every layer of the battery universe. CATL makes more cells than Europe combined. BYD builds its own LFP batteries, cheaper and safer. Solid-state batteries promise double range. China controls mining to recycling supply chains. German import cells. German EVs have Chinese hearts. Euro NCAP killed the quality myth. 5 stars for BYD, Neo, and XPeng. Chinese designs now looks like the future. Act 3. The empire falls. The warning didn't come from China. It came from California. Germany laughed at Tesla, but China studied. Germany watched the future, but China built it. Germany's 3 economic pillars, engineering, branding, and exports, depended on one assumption, superiority. That assumption is gone. China is the world's largest car exporter. German factories cut shifts. Audi lays off workers. BMW reduces output. This isn't temporary, it's structural. China no longer needs Germany. Look at Britain, the empire that invented the Industrial Revolution. Today, its legendary car brands belong to foreign nations. Today, its legendary car brands belongs to foreign nations. Germany is heading down the same road, only faster, because technological waves don't wait, and Germany is standing still. The debate is no longer whether China has won. It is whether the West can accept that the war is already over. China has returned to the position it once held. The West says imitation cannot lead to innovation. But if that were true, how did Beijing end up leading the race? And the final question is simple. Will the West accept defeat quietly or hide behind excuses until history stops listening? And this is a ZeP101Eng Show. In case we don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.